way to interrupt all the great conversations. It is great to see the number of people here. The room is full. And truly today, I don't know if you got to see, but we really have, as one of our faculty members, Bill Asher, said, a dog and pony show here today. And how many of you got to see the horse? So you might say, why in the world do we have a horse here? And the reason why is it's actually related to a software project that IBM sponsored this year. It's a project known as Software for a Cause. And what it's doing is matching up homes with their draft horses so that they don't get sent off to bad places towards the end of their life, and matching them up with owners who take care of them. So it's just a really neat project. So truly it's a nice dog and pony show here today. But the reality is it's actually a great way to show all the work of our students. So with that, let me really start here. Hello, and welcome everybody here to the Fasenmyer Engineering Design Conference. My name is Dr. Ralph Ford, and I'm Director of the School of Engineering. We are celebrating this year the 17th year of this conference. In 2005, we named the conference to honor the legacy of Richard Fasenmyer, who was a successful entrepreneur and businessman. He was also an alumnus of Penn State. He was an alumni fellow and a distinguished alumnus of Penn State University. He was also the first alumnus of Penn State Behrend to donate $1 million to the college, for which this conference is named after. Joining us here today, and I don't see her right away, is Richard Fasenmyer's sister, Connie Fasenmyer. Oh, there you are. Welcome here. So this conference has been and continues to be a significant event and the culmination of an almost year-long collaboration among our students, faculty, and industry sponsors. In this process, we blur the lines between academia and industry, to blend the talents of our students and the expertise of our faculty to assist companies throughout the entire country. Today, we celebrate the work of our students. They, along with our faculty and industry advisors, put significant effort to achieve the results you've observed today. They have applied their engineering knowledge, their creativity, and their skill sets to solve technical problems so that industry can create better products. In all, 197 students worked on 66 design projects. These students will soon be joining industry or going to graduate school and putting their knowledge and their skills into practice. So just please join me in a round of applause for recognizing the efforts of our students, our faculty, and industry advisors. I'd now like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Jim Ertl. Jim Ertl is the Vice President and General Manager of FMC Technologies, Measurement Solutions Business Operations in both Erie and Ellerbeck, Germany. FMC is a leading global provider of technology solutions for the energy industry. Jim began his career with FMC in 1993 as an IT manager. Before moving into his current role, he held various positions within the company, including controller of the Erie operations, President and General Manager of FMC Food Tech in Sandusky, Ohio, and Director of Operations at FMC Processing in Houston, Texas. He has led several initiatives for global joint ventures, as well as he oversaw the construction of an FMC facility in Changshu, China. Jim holds both a BS and Master's degree in education from Edinburgh University and an MBA, and a BS in computer science from Clarion University, as well as an MBA from Canyon University. Please join me in welcoming Jim.
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to thank Dr. Ford and Penn State Erie for the opportunity for me to be here today. It's truly humbling. But let me tell you, it's good to be home. I would like to take this time to recognize a colleague of mine for joining us today as well, Dave Resch. Dave, could you please stand up? Dave is primarily responsible for me being here today. And let me tell you a little bit about Dave Resch and what he's done for Penn State Behrend as well as FMC Technologies. Dave's current title is Global Engineering Manager for our Measurement Products Business Unit. Under his leadership, FMC has the world's most accepted and most accurate petroleum custody transfer meters in the world. Not disputed. Custody transfer meter is essentially a cash register. Anytime the ownership of petroleum changes hands, FMC's meters are there to make sure that the accurate exchange of money takes place. Without his vision and the drive to develop a robust internship program, we would not have the relationship we do today with Penn State Behrend. He is also the architect of the FMC Subsea Penn State Design Center that I'll talk about in a few minutes. He is a member of the leadership management team for Measurement Products as well. He is critical in the selection of incoming talent for our organization, and I might add, the rapid development. Most importantly, Dave is the key mentor for his engineering group and ensures that his employees' career aspirations are recognized and developed. Under his guidance, several employees have been encouraged to move into new areas of career growth, including technical sales, product marketing, manufacturing, and management. I assure you, he is eminently more qualified to speak to you than I am about your career in engineering. I encourage you to seek him out today. I would also like to recognize Adam Scipione, Catherine Franks, Steve Miller. Please stand up. Come on, it's not time to be shy. Each are senior engineering students who've gone through our intern program. They're soon-to-be Penn State alumni who've accepted offers to join FMC Technologies as full-time employees. We look forward to working with them and assisting them in growing their careers. I would also like to congratulate each of you on your senior presentations as well as your accomplishments as upcoming graduates. You have been fortunate enough to receive your education from a great university and a nationally recognized school of engineering. Let me repeat that. You have been fortunate enough to receive an education from a great university and a nationally recognized school of engineering. This will be significantly important to you as you begin your career. Now I would like to give you a brief overview of FMC Technologies, a company that I've been a part of for about 20 years. Let me begin with this overview and a focus of how we attract, develop, and retain the best talent we can, both locally and globally. First, I'll talk a little bit about FMC. We are, as mentioned by Ralph, an oil field equipment and service company. Our current revenue is about $5 billion, with the expectation that we will double in 5 years. We have 14,000 employees. Over 70% are international, not US-based. 1/3 of our employees have engineering degrees. We have numerous production and support facilities throughout the globe. Fortune magazine in 2012 gave us the recognition of being the most admired oil and gas equipment company in the world. We compete with companies such as Halliburton, Cameron International, Siemens, GE Oil and Gas. We've been number one 4 out of the past 5 years. What happened to the 1 year? They didn't do the survey that year. Let me drill down a little bit about FMC. We're made up of 3 segments. The largest is Subsea Technologies, in which we are recognized as the world leader in subsea technologies, everywhere from unmanned submersibles to subsea trees and manifold. Our surface technology is about 26%, which essentially is the same technology, only above ground. And 10% of that revenue is energy infrastructure, of which Measurement Solutions is the largest segment, both in terms of sales and profitability. And I will tell you with great pride Erie, Pennsylvania is one of the most profitable locations within all of FMC. Here's just a brief overview of a number of our customers and the close relationship that we have through alliances, etc. Some you'll recognize, many you won't. But I will assure you, one way or another, you probably use their products, either directly or indirectly. Here is, at a glance, our presence globally. Now, you may notice that Erie, Pennsylvania has been highlighted. I tell my colleagues in Houston that Erie, Pennsylvania is the center of the universe. They laugh, much like you did, but let me assure you that on any given week, measurement experts throughout the globe come to Erie, Pennsylvania to meet with the world's experts on measurement. The world's experts on measurements. We have people from Australia, Canada, Singapore, China, Latin America, Mexico, Alaska, Africa, and even the rest of the United States visiting us here in Erie, Pennsylvania. We have what we call core values, or our code of conduct. I think this goes a long ways as to why we are recognized and admired by Fortune magazine. I will just briefly talk about these, but under the area of integrity, from the day an employee comes on board and throughout their career, we are trained and educated and expected to perform at all times with a code of ethics. We will not enter into a transaction with a government employee, a customer, or a supplier that in any way violates U.S. law or our code of ethics. You'll see that respect is most important as well, because we deal with the cultures throughout the world, and therefore we must understand their cultures and respect them. Let me give you an example. When we have a delegation coming into Erie, we will check to see what their requirements are for food and any other special requirements for their culture. When they arrive at our campus, we will have their country's flag next to the U.S. flag to demonstrate our respect for them and their cultures. And finally, most importantly, health, safety, and environment is part of our creed. When it comes to the environment, we are to do no wrong. When it comes to health and safety, each employee and every employee is responsible for their safety and those around them. We are never to enter into an environment that is unsafe. We are recognized in the industry as having the highest safety record of all oil providers. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about measurement solutions. This is the business that I have had the chance to be a part of for almost half of my career with FMC, and it's been an honor. We too are worldwide. We have manufacturing, service, and facilities throughout the globe. Measurement Solutions is made up of two segments, products and systems. Dr. Ford already mentioned the two products manufacturing sites here in Pennsylvania, Ellerbeck, Germany. The systems business is located in Corpus Christi, Texas, and Kongsberg, Norway. Very briefly, Measurement Solutions provides the largest product offering under technologies for measurement of any provider, from positive displacement meters, turbine meters, Coriolis technology, or the latest and greatest ultrasonic measurement. We are the leaders in all of those areas. We have the most units provided globally, and we support over 70 countries in terms of our product developments. Our experience goes back 70 years this company has been in business. We are very proud to note that we have the largest, most widely recognized flow lab in the world. Our business works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we must address the needs of our customers on a moment's notice. This is just an inside view of our Flow Research and Test Center. This is an area that our interns have an opportunity to experience almost on a daily basis. This also represents several $1 million of investment. The next slide just gives you an outside view of the chillers and the motors and the tanks that supply the flow center, but I thought it would be just an excellent example of just how large this facility is. Okay, let's talk about attracting, developing, and retaining our talent. As a manager of FMC Technologies, it is my responsibility at all times to look for talent. Once we secure the talent, it's my responsibility professionally to assist them in the development of their careers. And above all, we recognize that that talent is an asset that we want to retain. How do we do that? First of all, we believe that our growth as a company is based upon our ability to grow leaders. That would mean some of you. Let's talk about the intern program, because that's where it started with Penn State Erie and FMC Technologies and Dave Retsch. From day one, an intern with FMC is an employee. Treated the same, goes to all the meetings. We have the same expectations in terms of our code of ethics, our work ethics, and our relationships with our customers. Our intern program is about 10 years old. You will see before your eyes the numbers. But let me tell you, it's much more than that. Dave will tell you that we have the most extensive intern program and interview program known to FMC. Well, why is that? We have 2 years to evaluate the individual to see whether or not there's a match. That's very important for FMC, but I would assure you it's more important for the intern. Do you want a career with FMC? Over that 2-year period, they will be in front of customers, the manufacturing site, as well as the development design aspects of our product offerings. Now, with great pride, I would like to share with you some of our success stories. Perhaps you know some of these people. Mitch Reckner, Penn State Behrend graduate, 2008. He is now a lead designer with our ultrasonic technology. Absolutely stalwart technology. It's amazing where he is and what he's doing with that product. It is a tribute to your program. Pat Lasky, I just signed some paperwork on Pat. He's a 2008 graduate. He is now earning a six-figure income. Company car, bonus program. He is now in technical sales in one of the most robust areas within the shale plays. Nicole Cayley, 2010 graduate. She's already received her MBA from Gannon and her Master's in Engineering from Gannon. She is now out on our shop floor as the technical project supervisor, again, for our ultrasonic technology. Our customers can't wait to work with Nicole. Let's talk a little bit about the status of our program. Here are our current bench lineup. These are our interns that we are currently working with. We are absolutely excited with their capabilities and their commitment to FMC. We're moving the engineering intern program further. Because of the success that we have had, we are moving it into other areas. Those include accounting, quality, marketing, IT, and manufacturing. We can't wait to explore how far we can take our relationship with Penn State Behrend. Here are our current lineup with those interns in those areas. I'm sure you know most of the people up here. What's our path forward? Where are we going next? We can't stand still. Last September, Brad Beitler, who is our Vice President of Technology, came to visit Erie to see the flow lab. Let me tell you a little bit about Dave Retsch and how devious he can be. He said to Brad, you know, we have this intern program with Penn State. You want to meet some of the interns? Sure. What could he say? So he met the interns, had interaction with them, said, this is unbelievable. Dave said, how about if we go up and see Dr. Ford and visit the campus? Why not? I'm here. Came up, toured the campus, was absolutely impressed with the facility, the people, etc., etc. And on the way back, Dave said, you know, Brad, we have a building that we're not utilizing, that if we really want to leverage our relationship and address the critical needs with Sub-C, we could put a design center on our campus in Erie and work more closely with Penn State. Brad said, do it. Go ahead and do it. Unbelievable growth opportunity. The design center is currently under construction. FMC has authorized over $500,000 in development of this facility. We have, to my understanding today, announced to a number of candidates offers to join this intern program. Here's what is particularly important, I believe, with the design center and the relationship with Behrend and Sub-C. These students, upon graduation and completion of their internship, will be offered opportunities either in Houston, Texas, or internationally. They can begin their careers in Brazil. They can begin their careers in Scotland, as far away as Singapore. And so this gives a brand new dimension for the students and graduates of Penn State Behrend and FMC. This is just a schematic to show you how extensive this design center is going to be. It will be completed by August. There will be a ribbon cutting ceremony with the CEO of FMC. We are most excited about this opportunity and partnership with Penn State. In summary, we are the leading energy provider. We have global capabilities. We have strong customer relationships. And we are on a strong growth path. If it sounds to you like I'm proud of this company, I am. I know most of you probably already have job opportunities, but if your career is not accelerating the way you expect it to be, I advocate that you look at FMC Technologies for your next opportunity. Okay, it's time to talk about your future. When I asked Dr. Ford what he felt I should speak to you about, he suggested I focus on what new graduates would want to hear as they move forward into their careers. So I have 4 areas I ask you to reflect upon: personal debt, competition, career development, and work-life balance. Personal debt. I'm not talking about your student loans. Hey guys, you're on your own with that. But I'm talking about the accumulated debt that you owe people who gave you support, guidance, and education that have given you this far. Obviously, I'm referring to your parents and your extended family, your teachers and your professors. The good news is you probably don't have to pay them back. The reality, you probably can't. But you can say thanks in many ways. If your career is a good one, this debt will increase significantly over the forthcoming years. For there will be many more people who will have helped you along the way. Eventually, you will owe fellow employees, managers, friends, and even mentors. Mentors are an excellent source for guidance and counsel. However, you'll need to seek them out very, very carefully. One of my mentors is here today, Dr. Fu, former director of the MBA from Gannon University, and I appreciate you being here today. Let me tell you why I think a mentor is so important. A mentor is someone who you totally trust. He is one who is willing and capable to assist you with your professional development. Be prepared for your mentor to ask you questions that you find to be uncomfortable to answer, and to tell you things that may be difficult for you to accept. This relationship will be one that you may need to call upon periodically throughout your career. Listen to the advice carefully. Make your own decisions. You'll be in debt to everyone who's helped you along your career. It's an unfortunate thing to have this obligation. You'll find that it never ends. These personal debts should be reminders to you to give back to others. I wish for you a personal debt greater than our national debt. Competition. You understand what it's like to compete, and it does not go away once you graduate. In fact, it will become more intense. There will be winners and losers. Let's consider the following. 70% of the population of Saudi Arabia is under the age of 30. So what? Well, how about 54% of India's 1.2 billion population is under the age of 25? Ever look at the commencement listings and the number of international students or their academic rankings? Well, it's international competition for you. Game on. In 2005, I was the project lead to locate and build a manufacturing facility in China. Let me tell you about my experience with the building of that plant. First, Wei Wo. She was a Chinese nationalist, an intern at FMC Houston from the University of Michigan. I asked her to join me in the selection of a plant and facility in China. Her response to me was, sure. So our first flight into Beijing, after 30 hours of travel, all I could hope for was a hot shower, a good meal, and a long sleep. During our dinner, I asked Wei Wo, where did you grow up? She said to me, Beijing. I said to her, is your family still here? Sure. Well, when did you plan to see them? She said, when you're in my country, you're my responsibility. Remember the code of ethics? She took it seriously. I insisted that she go see her family. I needed to sleep. After several months, we found a site about 80 kilometers outside of Shanghai on the Yangtze River called Changshu. We negotiated the contract, we signed all the deals, and I was amazed because Wei Wo and Dr. Chen were having a very, let's say, excitable conversation in rapid Chinese, and it lasted about 5 minutes. And so finally I said to Wei Wo, what was that all about? Oh, not to worry. Well, what was it all about? Dr. Chen would appreciate very much, upon your next return, a jersey from the Houston Rockets. And he would be more than willing to pay for that jersey. Code of ethics. She took it seriously. Now let me tell you about Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin was the building superintendent for the factory. He and I stood on farmland in January, snowing cold, much like Erie, Pennsylvania. I said to him, can you build this factory in 7 months? 60,000 square foot, brick building, high bay, by the end of July. He said, sure. On occasion, I would go back to Houston and talk to the executive management, and they would continue to say to me, what's your plan B when this factory doesn't get done? And I began an alternate plan. The more time I spent in China, the less time I spent on plan B. Well, the fact of the matter is, the factory was not done at the end of July. It was done the 1st of June. The 1st of June. Mr. Lin smiled at me and he said, tell me, Mr. Jim, could you do this in America? And I said, Mr. Lin, we couldn't even get the plans approved in 6 months. And he looked at me, but that smile was the smile of a competitor. Smile of a competitor. Have you noticed 12th Street on your way to the beach or the airport? What you see are the results of competition, ladies and gentlemen, and the effects of losing. See that person next to you? Might be your next competitor. Feel that seat below you? They're waiting in line to fill it. Don't forget that. It is a great time in your career, but you need to remember that there's going to be competition amongst you and those entering the workforce after you. Their level of education and professional experience will be different than yours. And you will need to continue to improve your capabilities. There are amazing opportunities out there for you, but the world keeps getting smaller and smaller. And you have to be aware that those competing against you are doing it globally. Please don't become complacent. Find new challenges and remain engaged to strive for the continuous improvement and be prepared for the next chapter. Bottom line, continue to learn or be prepared to burn. Okay, let's talk about your career development and how we can overcome that. Learning does not end once you get your degree. The media states that the unemployment rate in the U.S. is 8.3%. The underemployment is probably twice that. Those who have given up altogether is probably your guess as good as mine. We are finding that obsolete skills plague the global population as well as FMC. Our nation and FMC have come to realize that you cannot compete in today's world with the mentality of it's good enough. FMC knows that constant personal development is the key to satisfied employees and FMC success. Experiences will help to mold you to become a better person professionally, but you will continue to need to grow and develop yourself throughout your career. Ladies and gentlemen, your skill sets and technical knowledge today gives you a temporary advantage. But your thirst for more and your ability to foster your relationship skills will help you open doors to further growth and opportunities. Most successful people that I know enjoy working with other people. Be aware of those people that will drain energy from you. Focus on working collaboratively and being forward-thinking. Do not wait for a company to move you along your career path, but determine your goals, set your course, find an organization that understands and encourages development, and strive to meet your personal objectives. Opportunities can happen at any time, and it's important to make sure that you recognize the risks and benefits and challenges associated to establish your credentials. If you don't find yourself consistently waking up in the morning and wanting to run to work, think about a new job. If you can't get it with your current employer, find a new company. Use your mentoring network to help you make life and work decisions. Take risks, calculated and objective risks in your career development. Career development now becomes your number one job. You own it, others can help, but remember, you own it. Don't ignore the opportunities for development. Remember, at the end of the day, you work for, fill in the blank, your last name, INC period. Take ownership of that career. And now the most difficult part, the work-life balance. We all have our own sense of this balance, but it changes during different stages of our lives and our careers. Right now, the balance in your career will be different than it is next year, let alone 5 or 20 years from now. In your personal life, you'll have changes or major milestones such as marriage or advanced degrees, and that will affect how that shifts. In today's society, it is easy to get caught up in an unbalanced structure. Pressures to be successful early on can be habit-forming and lead to less than satisfying personal lives, unless you understand the need to keep both balanced. The fundamental environment of effective work-life balance is as simple as balancing your achievement and your enjoyment. You cannot get the full value of life without both concepts. Understanding your career goals, what your core values are, and what will give you pride, satisfaction, and sense of well-being will ultimately help you in keeping the balance that is right for you. Let's face it, if you can't enjoy life, what's the point? Whenever I meet with a group, whether it's a new employee orientation or a group like this, I always end my presentation, for some of you, you say, thank goodness, but with the most sombering comments. And I tell you this, business is a jealous lover. it is a jealous lover. You will need to decide how much of your life business is, and how much of your career is your life. In closing, I wish for you a large personal debt, healthy respect for your competition, a career consistent with your goals, and a life filled with positive challenges and satisfaction. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you. And I thank you for allowing me to be here today.